Hello again, viewers, and greetings, fellow space travelers. This is Thorn of Night, and welcome to episode 11 of my bee breeding guide and tutorial and crash course and all that. Today's episode, we are going to be covering the Industrious Bees. Now, the Industrious line adds 3 new bees for you to work with. They are the Diligent, this one, the Unweary, and the Industrious, and there's a rainbow. Anyway, the Industrious bees have no effects, and they're pretty straightforward, just bland bees for you to work with. They require normal climate and humidity. They need flowers, but nothing real special to go along with the actual needs of them. They don't work at night, and they don't like caves, and they don't like the rain. They're just typical bees. However, they do have some interesting output. They will give you this stuff called stringy comb, and when run through a centrifuge, stringy comb gives you honey drops and this stuff called propolis. Now, propolis can be used for several different things, but directly for making some products here, you can make some slime balls out of them, and they're the key component to making this apiarist pipe, which is going to come in handy with your breeding endeavors. So you're going to want to go after this Industrious line. Also, with the Industrious line comes from the Industrious bee itself this stuff called pollen, which is needed for making the scented paneling, which is needed for the alvearies and some other things that you need from the alveary. I believe also require the pollen to make as well. So basically this is a pretty key branch of bees for you to work with. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's involved with them. Hope I don't crash. Yay, it worked. And it's nighttime. Let's make it daytime just because. Alright. The sign's all vanished. Weird. The first bee you're going to want is the Diligent bee, and in order to make this, it is the same recipe, as it were, for making the noble bees. So it can go either way when you do this. You're going to need a common and a cultivated, and those are both from the Industrious branch. You can either download this map and go take a look at how to get those by hopping through this Mistcraft book here, or you can go watch the Apes video that I have in this series. But let's take a look at this Diligent bee here. As you can see, I managed to get a noble princess while trying to go after the Diligent bee. The noble is from a whole other line entirely, and I have a leftover cultivated drone here. But let's take a look at the princess and this drone here. Princess will tell me just how long it took me to make this bee. 15 generations to actually get a Diligent. I probably got several nobles along the way and some other ones. But let's take a look at the Diligent here. Actually, first let's get another Diligent drone to compare. Alright, first off, I am switching these guys back and forth, and you can see there's no difference at all. I actually got a stable drone. And the second page, same thing. Wow, this is an actual purebred bee, it looks like. So that's kind of hard to get sometimes. But I will leave these here for you to look at if you wish. When you download this, the second version of this map will have those in there for you to look at. But let's take a look at the typical output of a Diligent queen. You can expect to get 2 drones and obviously a princess, and a chance to get some comb, up to 1 or 2, looks typical. And a stack of the stringy comb will get you a stack of propolis and about just under half a stack of honey drops. The main thing you're looking for here is the propolis. But let's go on to the next bee called the Unwary. It is a level 5 bee, as as my reckoning for this series, because it requires a 4th level bee to make, so this is the next one up. And it does require a diligent from over there and another cultivated. And I've got some stuff for you to work with here, but let's look at this Unwary and grab the princess so we know how long it took to make this. Took just 1 generation, not too bad. And let's look at the Unwary. I guess it would help if I remembered to get a comparison. Alright. You go in there. As you can see, it's a little bit different on the active traits, and that's because it's a 1st generation. It's not a purebred bee, so it's going to have some oddball differences. Nothing different there, nothing different there. So I will leave these in the chest for you to look at and compare. Like that. And let's look at the typical output. You can expect to get some of the same comb there. And 2 drones is pretty standard. And it looks like you can probably expect to get between 1 and 3 comb from 1 queen cycle here. And there's another output of the stringy comb for you to look at. And finally, the last bee in this sequence, the Industrious Bee, and this is a level 6 bee. And this is the head honcho that you're going for. It's going to require an Unwary and a Diligent, so you're going to need to stabilize these a little bit so you can get some bees from doing this breeding, but you will eventually, let's see here, how long did it take me? Oh, 1 generation, nice. You'll eventually get an Industrious. Now let's go ahead and grab, shut up sheep, grab a creative spawn princess for comparison. As you can see, some minor differences, and the Industrious Bee doesn't have any effect on the environment or on you, so you don't have to worry about calculating for that. No differences there, nothing in the output, but like I said, you can get that pollen. Now let's go ahead and put this in here. And take a look at the typical output. 2 drones, some comb, and some pollen. It looks like between 1 and 2 of the comb and the pollen each. And it's the same pollen as, the same comb as before. And like I said, that pollen is pretty necessary for advancing. Also, this branch of bees, like the ones before it, are these bees are pretty well used in several other branches. I have here the link back to the hub so you can get back there and examine all the different hubs through the main map. And also I have the link to the branches that bees in this branch are used to make, including the aquatic, frozen, agrarian, rusty, saccharine, refined, metallic 2, metallic, historic, and rocky. Did I already say rocky? No, rusty. So it's used, this branch is used in a good deal of other bee making, so you're going to need to get through this in order to move on, and it'd be a good idea to get these lines nice and stabilized before you start working on the later branches, because these are pretty key and pivotal. This is going to probably be a dedicated part of your bee farm, is making industrious bees, especially so you can get that pollen. But that is pretty much it for this branch of bees. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this information was helpful. Like I said, this map will be available for you to download and take a look at if you need to yourself. And I will have a link for that in the description below. But if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, leave them in the comment section below, and I will do my best to respond. Also, if you like this video and this series, please give me a like. I do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so you know when my next stuff is coming out. But that's where I'm going to have to wrap up for this one. So thank you once again for watching. This is Thorn of Night, and I will talk to you later.